How's it going, guys? It's your boy Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So check it out. We're going to go over Nvidia stock in this one, go over the charts and some news we got. I'm sure you guys probably heard by now. We got news that they're investing up to $100 billion into OpenAI. We got that news yesterday, which actually popped the stock to, I think, $185 a share. Let me bring my big old head down here, guys. And I think now, yeah, we're down to 177. So we popped yesterday. Now we're giving back some of the gains and we have to cover it. Go over the charts, see where we could be going. Keyword is could. And we're going to go over the news and my thoughts in general, as Nvidia is, well, one of my biggest individual stock holdings. So guys, let's dive into it. If you guys find value, hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe. Check out the Patreon for my portfolio updates, linked down below, also pinned in the comments. And now let's dive into it. So like I said, Nvidia is down, as is pretty much, yeah, the entire stock market. We did have the Dow and the Russell in the green earlier today, but now those have gone red, and the NASDAQ and the S&P, they've pretty much been red the entire day. The NASDAQ's now down 0.75%, SPY's down about the same, Dow's down 0.25%, and the Russell's down 0.1%. So we are down across the board when it comes to the stock market, and the VIX is up. Am I surprised, guys? No, I am not surprised, because we've called out the VIX time and time again, how it's super low, super low. Well, I guess it was. Now it's at 17. Still, I guess, kind of low. But, man, it was at 14 recently, not too long ago. Yeah, the VIX was at 14 just about a week ago. Yeah, and man, it got to 1430, I think. So it was just way too low. We were due for a spike in the VIX. Now we're getting it. And we actually got one early in September. The VIX got to about 19. Then it cooled down, like I said, to 14. And now we're starting to spike up again. So VIX is heating up. Overall market, let's be honest, it is kind of hot across the board. If we take a look here, SPY just hit all-time highs, by the way, this morning, funny enough. And QQQ, I think, did as well. Let me double check that, though. Yeah, it did in the pre-market. So we hit all-time highs today, guys, even though we had, we're having a red day. We're at all-time highs, and the reality is we're pretty overbought. So if this comes down a little bit more, let's say QQQ comes down another $10 a share, SPY, same thing, $10, whatever, VIX comes to 20, that would be a healthy pullback. Healthy spike in the VIX. I don't want the VIX to go to like 30 or something nuts, or take out this level. We do have a couple spikes in the VIX over the last couple of months that have gone to like 26. We can see one spike back in May. It got to 26. It got back in March, it got to almost 30. So I wouldn't want to see it get that high. But would I like to see it get to 20? Why not? Nice little pullback, nice spike in the VIX, which, like I've been saying, that could set us up for that end of the year push, which I think we're going to get. I could be wrong, though. Don't bank on that, but that's what I'm banking on. And I'm not just investing for the end of the year, guys. Obviously, we have long-term time horizons, but I do have some trades. I do have some short-term plays, if you will, that do kind of rely on that end of the year push. And I could be wrong. Hey, it's all part of the game, but that's what I'm betting on. And Nvidia on the charts, guys, to bring it back to Nvidia, like I said, we got some huge news yesterday. OpenAI, they're investing up to $100 billion. The stock saw a big push to 185. It didn't take the all-time high out. It almost did. But it hit that point of resistance that we've been seeing for the last almost 2 months. If you guys notice, Nvidia has not broken out of 185 for 2 months now. And we failed to break out of it again yesterday. But it's not over yet. We're still above these moving averages. We're still making higher lows. This dip today, down 3%. It could very well get bought up right here, literally where we're at now. And we can make another test run. We can make another run to 185. And I think it's going to break. Ultimately, I think it's going to break. We have an ascending triangle, clear as day. We have a golden cross on the horizon. my alert set, guys, at 185. I think we're ultimately going to get out of here. But it's a waiting game. You know, Nvidia ran up a lot from, we know this, end of April through May, June, July, it ran up a lot. So now it's been kind of chilling the last 2 months, but it's getting ready for that move. I think we're going to break out to 200 by the end of the year. That's my prediction. And we're slowly setting up for that. We're almost there, almost there. It might take a little bit to play out. Keep in mind, it might not happen tomorrow, right? The breakout, but it's what I'm eyeing up for the rest of the year. And I haven't sold a share. You know, I haven't bought Nvidia recently either, but I haven't sold. So I'm holding on tight to every single last share there for that breakout $200 push. And if we do get that $200 push, guys, I might trim a little bit. You know, that's where I might trim a little Nvidia at that point. Not sell completely, but I might take some money off the table, lock in some profits, because you guys know the saying, right? No one ever went broke. Repeat it after me. No one ever went broke locking in profits, right? So Nvidia ripping, man, absolutely ripping. And again, this is, well, not today, but yesterday sparked the rally. We got the news that they're investing up to $100 billion, guys, into OpenAI, which at this point, Nvidia is what, a $4-something trillion company. $100 billion is nothing. But then again, I have to see, and this is over a couple of years, I'm pretty sure, but I have to see how much cash they have on their balance sheet. I haven't seen that in a little bit here, but either way, they're going to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI as the AI lab sets out to build hundreds of billions of dollars in data centers based around the chip makers, in this case, Nvidia's AI processors. OpenAI plans to build and deploy Nvidia systems that require 10 gigawatts of power. The company said on Monday a gigawatt is a measure of power that is increasingly being used to describe the biggest clusters of AI chips. I'm sure you guys know. And Nvidia's CEO told CNBC's John Fort in an interview in San Jose, California, that the 10 gigawatts is equal to between 4 million and 5 million GPUs, which is what the company will ship in total this year, and twice as much as last year. Think about that, guys. And he said, he said, this is a giant project. No kidding, right? Nvidia's, and the funny thing is, Nvidia's, I think they made we'll talk about their initial investment in OpenAI, but it looks like here, Nvidia's first investment of $10 billion this go around will be deployed when the first gigawatt is completed, according to a person familiar with the matter. And investments will be made at then current valuation, said the person who declined to be named because the details are obviously private. And we can see here, Jensen described as the partnership as monumental in size, no kidding, highlights the intimate link between OpenAI and Nvidia, two of the biggest drivers of the recent AI boom. For sure, demand for Nvidia's GPUs started picking up when OpenAI first released ChatGPT back in 2022, and OpenAI still relies GPUs to develop its software and deploy it to users, which that's going to continue into the future for sure, as the company said they have about 700 million monthly, or not monthly, holy smokes, weekly active users. 700 million weekly active users, and I'm definitely one of them. You know, I pay $20 a month for ChatGPT. I'm sure a lot of you guys do as well, you know, and guess what? All of us using these this AI, all of us using whatever other platforms we're using, the cloud, the this, the that, all of this requires what? GPUs from Nvidia, more and more and more. And we heard it from the companies themselves, guys. They're increasing their spend, not just OpenAI, but Google. A lot of these tech companies are increasing their spend. And guess what? Guess what's going to happen? These AI chips, these GPUs, there's new ones coming out all the time. And these companies are always in competition with each other, right? Capitalism. And they're always going to want the new chips. Now, the question is, will Nvidia always be the provider of the best-in-class new chips? I think they will for some time to be here, for sure. But there could be a competitor. You know, there's a lot of competitors now, obviously. But, you know, the idea here is they're going to keep buying new chips, for, you know, and this boom is going to last. This AI boom is going to last through 2030 for sure, in my opinion. So, yeah, you know, more and more money into the pockets of Nvidia is what I'm getting at here, guys, which this is very good news overall. And again, coming back to the chart, keep your alert at 185. That's what I'm watching. Again, I haven't sold a share, I haven't bought one either recently, but I'm holding on to all the shares I have. And if it breaks 185, makes that push to 200, like I said earlier in this video, I might consider locking in some profits. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Smash that like button. Feel free to subscribe. Join the Patreon. Make sure to do that if you want to keep up with what I'm doing in my portfolio. That's the main, you know, perk of being in the Patreon. You get to see how I build out a portfolio. I started from $0 and now we're pushing in the high five figures, guys. And that's what, in about 2.5 years, we've completely grew this portfolio. So if you want to see how I do that every week with new money being deposited, you get to see all the stocks I'm buying, full transparency, performance updates, the whole 9 yards. Check it out. Link down below, or go to stasserfest.com/Patreon. That's STASSERFES.com/Patreon. And it's also, I'm pretty sure, pinned in the comments. Go check it out. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video.